This is video 2 of the magazine interior, 4-page interior. I'm on step 10, so I've done 1 through 9 in the previous video, and now my next step is to remake the Japanese flag graphic in Illustrator with a blend. So let's get that going. I'm just going to open up a new file. Oops, sorry. I'm going to create a new one. That's what I want. And I'm just going to, it doesn't really matter on this. I'm going to probably just choose a letter size in inches. A little bit easier for me to wrap my head around what size I'm working with. I can adjust it afterwards. So now I'm going to go to File and Place, and then go grab my let's see, it's InDesign magazine files. Probably just going to drag and drop that Japanese flag in here. InDesign. Sorry about this. There it is. There's my Japanese flag. Okay, my cursor's loaded. Click and drag. I'm just going to keep it the width of an 8.5 by 11. I know it's not the same size as it's putting in, but it is a vector, and so I can size it up without any issue. So I have my placed, and it's initially a GIF is what it is. So I'm gonna change this to vector, and I'll do that by opening my properties and going to trace image, and I get a little pop-up under trace image. I'm going to choose just black and white logo. So now I have a black and white image of this Japanese flag. I'm going to click expand, still in the properties palette, and then ungroup. So what that does, it changes all of my lines to black and white, and then also to vector. And then I've ungrouped them so I can delete the white. I don't want the white parts in there. So I'm going to select one of the white areas, and then just to show you, here's the white area that I'm going to be deleting. So I'm going to hit delete or backspace. And as I go down here, I'm going to see if there's any other white areas, and there's a few others down here. None there. There's one. There's another, and the rest are gone. So if I try, there I got a black. If I try clicking in the white areas, they're actually removed. So my next step is to change this into a gradient, or put a gradient onto this shape. And so I'm going to go to Window and bring up my gradient palette. Here it is. And what I'm doing is just going to make sure my fill is in the foreground and click a gradient. It's going to change it to this white to black gradient. And then what I'll do is edit that. I'm going to edit this white. I'm going to choose red and make the opacity maybe down at 30. And then I'll choose this black marker on my gradient palette and choose red and maybe bring that to 50. So here I have the gradient. Let's just see if that matches what they're asking us to do. Oh, it's light to dark, so I need to flip those. So I might just do something like this to reverse them. So now I'm at light to dark, and that's great. I'm just gonna close my gradient, and I'm gonna save this as an AI file. Save as. I'm gonna put it back in that same InDesign magazine file. I'm gonna call it Japanese flag blend. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna see it. You can do whatever works best for you. And then I'm just gonna OK through this next Illustrator option. Just leave all those defaults. Okay, then we'll jump back into InDesign, and we're going to place this Japanese flag gradient AI file not into master pages. What will master pages do? It'll put a Japanese flag on every single page, but I just want it on pages 2 and 3. So I'm going to choose File, Place, and I'll go grab that Japanese flag. Let's see, downloads, and we'll go to our InDesign. Oops. There we are. And there's the blend, and I'm going to just zoom in a bit just so I can make sure I'm getting this whole thing. Okay, so it's not the same proportion as my spread. That's okay with me. So InDesign, as you may be aware, they place an image inside a frame when you place an image. So this blue selection I have here is actually the frame. So if I click and drag this over, I'm going to essentially crop that image. It's still there, but I've cropped it. And notice it's going over, and this is kind of problematic right now, and I'll show you a way around it, but it's placed over the items in my master page. So simple solution, I'm going to go to layers, make a new layer, put it underneath my layer 1. I'll select that and then just move that down to layer 1. Now it's, or to my bottom layer. So now it's underneath my master page items. So I'm great with that. Okay, so the next little bit is we're going to deal with some pictures. So I'm going to place my big manga character on the back. What step is this? Step 19. So I'm going to go in InDesign, File, Place again, and I'm going to go grab that manga character and just drag it and place it right in here. Now I can adjust the size of this thing by clicking on this item here. Now right now he is in the bottom layer. I don't necessarily want him there. Let's just bring him back. Oh, I see. It's trying to separate that. Let's just bring it up like this. Okay. All right. So this allows me to adjust the image instead of the frame. So if I click this, you can see a new selection just came up. And I'm not adjusting the frame now. I'm actually adjusting the image. You can see that because the character is cut off. If I click and hold, you can see how that sits in the frame a little bit. And I want it just to the edge. And then on this side, I'm going to go just to the edge here. Okay, great. That's how we'll place that. And then I'm going to, since we're placing images, I'm going to go to page 1 and place this rising sun in here. Control D is the shortcut. Double click, and I'm going to click and drag to put that in place. And that's where we'll end. I'll start the next bit with my next video 3.